pillar, there's 5 pillars we work with, called tapas. And so what that is, if you've not heard it talked about in class, if you haven't discovered it for yourself just yet, it's that ability through our practice and the tools we use in the practice to generate your own heat. So what we'll be doing today is really focusing on this quality. And a lot of times we have it. It's nice to have kind of like the added heat that the room will give us. But it's really, we'll be looking at this quality of generating your own heat through your practice. So everyone should have a strap, not a strap, I'm sorry, a blanket and a block. Do we all have that? And then, yes. Oh gosh, we're like not awake. We all have a blanket and a block. Yes, cool. Put your block in your upper right-hand corner and your blanket in your upper left-hand corner, just so that as I'm walking around, I'm not going to slip or trip. The blankets are tricky that way. And then once you have that, come into child's pose. Yeah, and then Beth at home, we're going to be using a block and a blanket. So you could use a blanket if you have a blanket. You could use a bathroom towel. If you don't have a block or something like that, you could use a firm pillow. So we're going to get perfect. Beth has got her block. We're going to get creative. And so right away in your child's pose, open your eyes, set your eyes, and take deep, full inhales and exhales. And so our very first pillar is drishti. Come on in, yeah. And drishti is that quality of opening your eyes, set your eyes to a point, and see the point you're looking at. And then bring on that second pillar of breath, deep, full inhales and exhales. And that there's like the lethargy of your breath, you're beginning to burn that away right away. So your breath is no longer going in and out as you kind of feel comfortable with it moving. You as the creator of your breath are taking your breath off involuntary, and you are actively pulling it in through your nose and actively pushing it out through your nose. So like a bellows, pull the air in through your nose and actively push it out through your nose. And then keep breathing that way and feel for your ribs, the back of your ribs, the side of your ribs, your chest, the front of your ribs, to begin to move. Take one more breath. Downward facing dog. Hey, Jill, we're using one of the blankets and a block today. So just grab one of those two as you set your spot up. And then right away in your downward dog, grab your block and stick it between your thighs. It can go skinny, it can go medium, it can go wide. It all depends on which feels right for you and your body. Yeah, and then downward facing dog. Set your eyes, drishti. Bring on board your breath. And just get like the tendency will be to breathe slow and shallow. And you're interrupting that as a way, as a source, as an intention to create a completely different experience and to create heat in your body. So you are a cause for heat happening, and your breath being the access point for that. Good. Now bend your knees a couple degrees and squeeze the block with your thighs. And as you squeeze the block from the outsides of your thighs. So probably you just have like skin to block, right? It's not even thigh bones to block. From the outside of your thighs, squeeze into the block. And then from the squeeze, pull your inner thighs up into the center of your pelvis. Yep. And keep pulling up like you could zip the block up towards your groin. Keep pulling up that way. Your tailbone will start to roll up. Your inner thighs will awaken and zip up. Keep that action with your tailbone high, and now reach your heels down and back. Good. And breathe right there. So you might have a whole new sense of your legs. Now breathe and support what's beginning to wake up through your legs. Take 2 more breaths. Take 1 more breath right here. Now, reach back, take the block out. Once you've done that, bring your big toes together, lift your right leg high, bend your knee, open your hip, three-legged dog. And you can do this on your knees too. So not flip dog, yeah. Heather's like ready to go. She's got flip dog happening. Just three-legged dog, right? Three-legged dog. So your back foot at 12 o'clock. So some of you, your heel has spun out to the side. Turn your back heel to point to the back of your mat. So it's right this back heel. Bring that in. Now bend your back knee a little bit and press your top heel all the way. So as you lift, you bend your knee, open your hips, press through your top heel. And breathe right there. And so right away, breathe in, all cylinders firing. All 5 of the lifted toes, the skin across the sole of your lifted foot, your top leg. Take one more breath in, and then change sides. Left leg high, bend your knee, open your hip, and if you need to drop your knee, you'll do that. It's like Ray's got that happening. So bend your top knee, and then roll your left hip over your right hip. So you're opening up through your hips. Good. Pull your top heel in towards your butt, strong. So the whole back of your top leg gets a charge. Bend your knee and pull in like that. Now flex. Good. Push through your heel. Now turn up. Left hip up. Left kneecap up. Nice, Damien. Take one more breath in. And then step up to the top of your mat. Right up at the top. Inhale, lift halfway. Create a long spine. And exhale, ragdoll pose, fold down. Good. Take a breath in. With the exhale, drop your head all the way down. Press your heels deep down into the floor. And on the inhale, come rolling up to stand. At the top, stretch your arms up, look up, take a big breath in, and exhale, hands to heart center. Samastitihi, set an intention for your practice. And like, let that be what will create that heat for you. Set it that way. And we'll begin with 3 ohms. Take a breath in. Inhale, reach up, extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. And plant your palms, step back to high plank and hold it. In your high plank, open your fingers up nice and wide. Lift your 10 toes and spread your 10 toes out wide. So you get really good contact. Big toe mounts to the floor. Thumb side of each hand deep down into the floor. Good. And now lift the base of your skull up. So from your heel to your crown, you're long like a plank. Keep that shape. Take a big breath in. And on the exhale, hinge forward and lower down to low push-up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, back, downward facing dog. Take a breath in and out. Take a deep breath in and out. One more time. Breathe in fully. Push all the air out till empty, and then move your feet up to your hands. Inhale, lift halfway, and exhale, fold. Press down through your feet, reach up. Extended mountain pose. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Pull the air in and push the air out. 2 more breaths like that. So you're going to feel like your belly muscles get involved in breathing this way. Take 1 more breath. Blow all the air out. Move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Forward fold. Halfway lift up. Press your seat way back. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. In. out, in, out. Last in, blow it out, move your feet to your hands. Halfway lifts, fold. Extended mountain pose, press your heels deep down into the floor, forward fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, one more Sun-A. Stay right on the edge with your breathing. 2 more breaths. And to the best of your ability, breathe in and out through your nose. 1 more breath in. Blow all the air out. Step or float, feet to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Extended mountain pose. Stretch all the way up to your fingertips. Fold. Halfway lift up. Low push up. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in. Blow all the air out. Move your feet up to your hands. Halfway lift. Fold. Grab your block, chair pose. Come on up. So you have the block in your hands. Go wide with it. So the widest sitting with your block. Beautiful. Bring the block to your chest. Now, elbows wide. You're going to crush that block. Like I'm envisioning like a X-Men character. Like you're crushing the block with your hands as strong as you can. Now keep that crush. On the inhale, push the block out. Keep squeezing it. And on the exhale, pull it back in. And you're going to do that 4 more times. Inhale, push it out. And exhale, pull it in. Good. 3 more times. Keep going. Elbows nice and wide. Good. 2 more. So when you go to pull it in, pull your shoulders straight back. Good. 1 more time. Pull it all the way back. Now hold it. So you're going to squeeze it. Elbows up and wide. Shoulders wrap onto your back. And now sit just a little bit deeper. Take 3 breaths and breathe into the block. 2 more. 1 more breath in. And fold, block to the floor. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, low push up, take it back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Big breath up into your chest. Downward facing dog, press back. Step your right foot to your right thumb, warrior 1, grab the block on the way up. Good, so block on the way up. This time take the block either to the top of your head. If you have more mobility in your shoulders than that, you can take it to the back of your head. So up to you. Cool. Now press. So flat palms to the block, squeeze it strong. With the inhale, elbows go wide. And on the exhale, wrap your elbows in. Inhale, open wide. Exhale, wrap in. Do that 3 more times. Good. 2 more times. Really good. So you can take your fingers off. So you really just feel its palms pressing. Good. Now the next time your elbows go forward, hold it. So you'll wrap your elbows forward. Good. Now lean your head back into the block like a hammock and lift your chest up. Take 3 breaths. Press your back heel deep into the floor. Zip up through your back leg and lift the front of your pelvis up towards your belly button. Take 1 more breath in, chest high, and then hands to the floor, block to the floor, low push up. Inhale, upward facing dog. Exhale, downward facing dog. Step your left foot to your left thumb. Grab the block, warrior 1. Beautiful. Block behind your head. Add the press. Inhale, open your elbows up wide. And exhale, wrap them forward. And so play with the pressure as you move. Try adding a little bit more. Try adding a little bit less. And feel for warmth or heat in your shoulders as what you're looking for. So I find sometimes I can push so hard that I actually don't get heat. There is a balance between effort and ease that creates that tapas. Good. Go through 1 more round. The next time your elbows wrap forward, hold it. Good. Now, elbows go up. Relax your head back into the block and press your thoracic spine up in towards your heart. Take 2 more breaths. Find that perfect amount of pressure on the block. 1 more breath in, and then block to the floor, hands to the floor, step back. Inhale, upward facing dog. Press your chest forward Exhale, downward facing dog, press back. Now 3 breaths. 2 more breaths. Here's your last breath in. Blow all the air out, look forward, and step or float, feet to your hands. We're just going to flow. Lift halfway up and fold. Chair pose, 1 breath. You can reach up if you want, and exhale, forward folds. Halfway lift up, low push up, take it back. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Step your right foot forward, warrior 1. So hands can be at heart, or you can reach up, low push up. Upward facing dog, down dog, left side warrior 1. Step, stretch your heart up high, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths. Set your gaze, work your breath. Take 1 more inhale, blow all the air out, move your feet to your hands. Halfway lift, fold, chair pose, fold, half lift, low push up, upward facing dog, down dog. Right side warrior 1, step with the inhale, reach up, low push up, blow it out. Up dog, down dog, left side warrior 1, step, all the way up, stretch your armpits, your fingers, low push up. Upward facing, downward facing dog. Right back into your breath. Drive your hands into the floor, drive your feet into the floor, so make that strong contact with your foundation. Breath in, blow all the air out, feet to your hands. Halfway lift, fold. Chair pose, hips back a little bit further, forward folds. Halfway lift, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. Right side warrior 1. You might be ready to lunge a little bit deeper, low push up. So as your body warms up, your mobility opens up. Upward facing, downward facing dog, left side warrior 1. So kind of check out what's starting to wake up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog. 3 breaths, 1 more Sambhi. 2 more breaths. So like what new part in your body can you wake up and create heat in this last Sambhi? Be for that. Breath in, blow all the air out, feet to your hands. Halfway lift and fold. Chair pose, forward fold. Halfway lift up, low push up. Upward facing dog, downward facing dog, right side warrior 1. Press your heels deep into the floor, low push up. So it could be like your feet, upward facing dog. Great heat in your feet, low, left side. Step, reach high, low push up. Upward facing dog, big breath in. Downward facing dog, downward dog. Take a breath in. Might be time for a sigh to level some energy out. Good. Now inhale your right leg up and back and pause. So in lifting your leg, you're turning your right outer thigh down towards the floor. So you're getting an internal rotation. So turn your thigh like that. Outer thigh zips down, and then your inner thigh, turn that up towards the ceiling. Good. From your inner thigh turning up, that muscle is going to start to warm up. Pull your inner knee on the top leg in towards your pelvis. So it's like you're plugging, your thigh into your pelvis. Now from your pelvis, kick back through your back heel. Yes. Take a big breath in. Exhale, knee to your nose. Get it to touch. So really earnestly try to get your nose and your knee to touch. Good. Inhale, kick back from your pelvis, reach long. Exhale, knee to your nose. See if it will touch. 2 more. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, crunch. 1 more time. Kick back. Inner thigh leads the way. And then nose to your knee. Crunch and hold it. Crunch and hold. 5. See if they'll touch. 4. So big exhales. Keep carving the space out between your nose and your knee. Can you get closer with each exhale? 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in, squeeze, and then step your foot to your right thumb, crescent lunge. Come all the way up. Set your eyes to a point. Take a breath to settle. Your back heel over the ball of your back foot. Front foot at 12 o'clock. So Kyle, you'll lift your heel up higher. Yeah. So find where your back heel is forward enough, backward enough that you can press the big toe out of your back foot without your toes being crushed. So there's kind of like a happy spot for that to be at. Cool. And then once you have that, take a breath in, reach high. And on the exhale, cactus arms, bend your back knee. It might tap the floor, but it might not. Inhale, come back up. And then exhale, tap. 2 more breaths. 1 more time. Inhale up. Exhale, take your deep lunge, as deep as you can go. Hold that. And now press your back heel back. See if you can get your back leg to straighten out a little bit. Hands to heart center. Breathe in. And then tip and twist to the left side. Press and twist. You got to switch to the other way, Kyle. You got it. You can open your arms, stretch your bottom hand down, reach your top arm high. Good. Spread out from the underside of your shoulder blades. So expand your upper back, expand your chest. 1 more breath in, blow it out. Crescent lunge, come up on the inhale, and then warrior 2, open on the exhale. Set your eyes over your front middle finger. And then from the underside of your shoulder blades, stretch all the way out through your fingers. So see if you can feel like the muscles under your shoulder blades, they stretch out through your arms like your wings are expanding. And take a breath in and tilt, extended side angle. Yep, so right forearm to the thigh, right fingertips to a block inside your front foot. So all the options. Bend your front knee over your front heel and drive your front heel down. That's it. Now 2 more breaths. Lift your front toes up and drive your front heel down. 1 more breath in. 2 hands to the floor, low push-up, flow. Upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Take a breath in, blow it out. Now inhale your left leg up and back. Right? So it's possible to throw your leg up and just kind of almost let it hang out in space up here. But that's not what you're doing today. You're bringing in some alignment as an axis to waking up all the muscles along your lifted leg. To do that, you're turning your left outer thigh down towards the floor. That's it. And your back, your lifted inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Now, pull your inner thigh in towards your pelvis. And from your pelvis, kick your heel all the way up and back. When I do this, I feel like a charge of heat up through my leg. So you might have that, you might not. Take a breath in. Now exhale, nose to your knee. Crunch all the way up. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, crunch all the way up, nose to your knee. Inhale, kick back. And exhale, crunch. Inhale, kick back. Exhale, crunch up and hold it. Hold it all the way up, nose to your knee. Exhale, exhale, exhale. Keep squeezing the gap out. Keep squeezing. One of the best ways to stretch your back is to really make your abdominal muscles strong. Take 1 more breath in, blow it out, and step. Left foot to your left thumb, crescent lunge, come on up. Set your feet. Good. Front foot at 12, heel of the back foot up. Put some weight in the baby toe side of your back foot so you have that internal rotation on your back thigh. And then take a breath in and lower your back knee towards the floor. Maybe it touches, maybe it doesn't. Inhale, come up, and exhale, hover. 2 more. Really good. Last one. On the bottom, hold it. Good. Now on the bottom, press your back heel back and hug your right hip point forward to lengthen your leg out. Yeah, you can reach up. You can keep your arms cactus. That's up to you. Take a breath in. Hands to heart, hinge forward, and twist to the left side. 1, 2, squeeze your back thigh up towards the ceiling. 3, that's it, Kyle. 4, take a big breath in. Stay for the out. And 5, crescent lunge, reach up. Warrior 2, open up. Reset your feet. Good. Press your feet down to really invigorate your leg muscles. Good. And then stretch from the back of your heart all the way out through both fingertips. Now tilt, extended side angle. Lift your front toes. Drive your front heel down. Drive your back heel down. And from your back heel, accelerate all the way up through your top arm, through the top of your head. Take one more breath in, get long, and then 2 hands to the floor, high to low push-up. Really good. Really good. Upward facing dog. I'm seeing sweat drops. I like that. That's a good sign. Downward facing dog. It means blood's flowing. Take a big breath in. Blow all the air out. Look at your hands. Step or float feet to your hands. Lift halfway up and fold. Chair pose, grab your block. And then this time, stick the block between your thighs. So my favorite is like this middle width. Some of you will like it a little bit skinnier, especially if your hips are a little bit more narrow. If your hips are a little bit wider, you might like it wide. So you can do whichever version feels right, okay? Now squeeze the block. This seems like our theme for today. Squeeze the block until you feel your inner thighs fire. Sometimes I'm like just enough that it doesn't fall out and there's not a whole lot happening. But you're not going to do that. You're going to squeeze until you feel those muscles are like the temperature's going up. Now, as though you want this block to your groin, you're going to zip your inner thighs up and in. Good. Now keep that and press your feet down into the floor. Cool. Keep all that. Reach your arms up, get a breath, and then exhale, hands to heart. Keep zipping your thighs in to tip forward and twist to the right. You could even use the block. I like this one. Put your elbow on the block because now you got to squeeze harder because your elbow is going to start pushing the block out. So you squeeze a little bit. If you don't like that, you can put your elbow on your thigh, on the outside of your right thigh. Press your hips way back and make Heather and everyone stretch your head towards the front of the room. Good. Now breathe. Wherever you're at, you can breathe. Take one more breath in. Stay for the out. Chair pose. Keep the block. And then switch sides. Go right into it. And switch. Breathe. Now you're probably going to have to start getting creative. So now your legs are probably starting to gas out a little bit. So what can you bring in that would allow you to stay in the pose? Could be more breath. For me, it's usually more ease. Like, what can I relax if not my legs? Take one more breath in. Stay for the out. Chair pose on the inhale. Reach high. And then fold. Fingers to toes, forward fold. You could keep the block between your thighs, or you can take it out if you prefer. I like the block between my thighs some days because it's still training your inner thighs to wrap back and pull up as a way of stabilizing your pelvis and your low back. Take one more breath in. On the exhale, really drop your head down. Get that full fold. And then release. Step onto your hands, gorilla pose. I often find it remarkable how much more mobility I have in the back of my legs after I've really taken the time in the first part of the practice to fire my legs up and to turn my leg muscles all the way on. Take one more breath there. And then step off your hands. So here's where we're going to bring in the towel. That's a towel. We'll call it a towel. So what you'll do here, just stand up for a moment. I'll show you real quick, and then we're going to do it. We're going to do what are called crow slides. So you're going to find just a hunk in your mat, and you guys will get creative and just kind of find a space on the floor around your mat that works. So it might be the front edge, it might be the side edge, wherever. Once you have that edge, your hands are going to be on the very edge of the mat. So you have two options from here. The first option is that as you're here, your feet are up off the floor, your knees are on the towel. You're going to squeeze the towel in towards your hands and then press back to a plank position. So you're here. Squeeze into your hands and press back into a plank position. So that's option number one, okay? Option number two is that you're on the block. Your feet are on the towel. Your arms are straight here. You're going to press back into a plank position and pull up into a crow position, okay? So the key here is your shoulders, your arms, your hands, your head, everything stays stable, and it's just your legs coming in and going out, okay? So give that a shot. We're going to do 10 of them. So there's no mystery, no surprises. You grab your corner of the room, somewhere on your mat. Perfect. You choose your knees or your feet. And then your goal is, can you get your knees up to your triceps? You gotta keep your shoulders in your, Kristen, you might want to go off the side just so you have like the full range of motion. That's it, Carrie. And then as you go in and out, can you keep your hips up? So some of you are dropping your butt when you get to the front. Keep your hips up as your knees come to your triceps. Good. You go until you have 10. Now keep your hips up. So come up. Now squeeze your knees in and keep all this up here. Yes. Now go back. Like that. Very good. Okay, when you're done your 10, pause. So you do 10, and you're going to sit down for a moment. You might do like a little wrist. You can catch your, interlace your fingers, do a little of this. Yeah, you can do a couple shoulder rolls. That might be what is needed. Okay, and then we're going to do it one more time. Okay, so same thing. You can dial up, you can dial down, right? 10 times. But the key here is that as you move, especially if it's this one, some of you are kind of like coming in and then sitting down into a squat. So keep everything up, that your hips and your shoulders are on the same plane. Push out, keep your hips up. Push out, keep your hips up. Okay, go for 10 more. Nice. And then even Damien, when you go back, don't let your hips drop quite so much. Yes, like that. Perfect. And then pull in from there. Got it. Good, Heather. Good, Jen. Perfect. Good, Greg. Good, Carrie. Don't let your hips go quite so low, Kristen. Like there. And then pull right back in. And then go right back out. Good. And then right back in. That's it. Good. It's like that little way we try to kind of take some of the pressure off by dropping our hips. Good. Once you're done 10, release. If you need a shoulder release, do that. And then crow at the top of your mat. So you're like, you've just done crow like times 10. So now this is easy peasy. It's that same action of pulling your knees up into your arms like you just did, and then pulling your heels up into your butt. Go for it. See Beth at home getting in there. Good. 5. Pull your knees up into your arms. Like press them together. 4. Yeah, if you're taking a squat, squeeze your knees into your arms strong. 3, 2. Now slide back, low push-up. It's kind of like that move. Upward facing dog. Nice. Downward facing dog. Press back. Take a deep breath in. Blow all the air out. Look forward. Move your feet up to your hands. Lift halfway up and fold all the way down. Take 3 breaths to roll up to stand. So you'll stack one bone at a time. At the top, reach up, all the way up, maybe go up and go back. Oh. And then exhale, bring your forearms together and your feet together. It's a little different version of eagle pose. So now you're going to squeeze your legs together like we squeeze that block. So really squeeze them together. Squeeze your forearms together the way you squeeze the block. Now sit down. So you're going to slide straight down and squeeze. So when I do this, the first thing I notice is my ribs, they like to pop out. So if you have that, hug your front ribs into center in the same way your forearms and your thighs are hugging in. And then breathe right there. 2 more breaths. Take 1 more. And then come all the way up, stretch your arms out. And then do it again, forearms together, legs together, sit all the way down. And now see, as you squeeze your legs together, your forearms together, can you pull your inner arms back into your chest? Can you pull your inner thighs back in towards your pelvis? So it's like you're taking your limbs and gathering them all up into center. Take a breath, clear it out, and then stand up. Stretch all the way out. 1 more time, eagle pose. This time you'll add the wrap. So bend, wrap. If you can tuck your toe, don't. So you'll keep your foot on the outside of your shin. And then add the same squeeze. So now it's going to be a different feeling. You're kind of internally squeezing, but you're also having to press out to do this. If you can get your foot against your shin, close that gap up. Yes. Now you could keep pressing your forearms together, or you can wrap, but don't wrap your fingers. So it's the back of your hands to each other. And now squeeze in. And so feel that it's your muscles, it's your strength that are pulling the pose together rather than like a hook or like lacing fingers holding everything together. Take 1 more breath. And then step down. Reach high, get a fresh breath in, move what you need to move, and then left side, eagle pose. There's definitely a benefit to, adding all the hooks and having things kind of holding you up. But there's also this incredible benefit to taking out some of that more like the passive elements of the pose and really coming in and feeling your own strength able to hold you here. Beautiful. Take 2 more breaths. Squeeze your foot into your shin. That's it. 1 more breath. And then step down. Feet down, arms high, get a big fresh breath in. And then exhale, hands to your hips. Standing leg raise right side. Come on up, bend your knee. Let's go hands free today. Beautiful. And if you're feeling spicy, you're like, bring it on. Straighten your leg out. So here or here. Pull your right thigh in towards the center of your pelvis and kick through your lifted heel. And take your leg out to the side. Could be bent or straight. You could bend and straighten. And then come back to center. Keep your knee bent. Release your hands to the sides. Blow all the air out totally. And then on the inhale, kick your right heel back. Keep your chest up like you're going into dancer pose with no hands. Then exhale, bring your knee back up. Squeeze all the air out. Inhale, come back. And this could even be foot on the floor, that you're here and here. Inhale, take it back. And exhale, take it forward. Now here's the last one. Inhale, take it back. So it could be a toe on the floor. Keep your chest up. It could be your knee bent, heel pressing up. Now reach your arms back for your foot, but don't touch it. For 5, palms face in if you can get that. 4, now squeeze your upper arms in towards each other. 3, 2, big breath. And 1, 2 feet to the floor, step down. Good. Do a little shaky shake. And then set up on the left side, standing single leg raise. Five breaths here. Knee bent, leg straight, alternate. And then take your leg out to the side. I love seeing people fall doing this because it just means that you're starting to play into new edges. Don't be afraid to knock yourself out. It's kind of like where you really build strength around balancing. Good. Come back to center. Blow all the air out. And then inhale, take your leg back. So you're in that dancer pose with no hands. And on the exhale, come back to center. Inhale, go back. And again, could be a toe on the floor. And then exhale, come back forward. Do 2 more. Really feel the change of your leg, your pelvis, and your spine as you go back, and then hold it. Hold it back here. Turn your back inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Good. Squeeze your heel in towards your butt. Yeah. Now squeeze your shoulders back. Lift your chest up. Take 1 more breath in, and then 2 feet to the floor. Come all the way down. Good job. So now you have the chance to add your arms. You could use a strap if you want to go overhead, or you can take standing bow. So you'll catch. Lift your left arm up. You're doing this. Go ahead. And then go. We're like, she's demoing. We're going to take a break for a moment. Good. And then kick. And then, Damien, flip your hand so that your shoulder rolls open and faces to the right like that. Perfect. Now you have that strong kick up. You felt the muscles you have to kick up and back. That's the action of your leg. Kick your heel up towards the ceiling and kick your right shin back towards the back of the room. Take 1 more breath, lean your chest all the way out, and then step down 2 feet to the floor. Take a breath, clear it out. Left side dancer pose or standing bow. Go for it. Good. Kyle, flip your grip so your shoulders open. You got it. Even teachers mess that up. It's a tricky grip. Good. Hug your back thigh into your midline. Like there's that block, and now turn your back thigh up towards the ceiling. Keep turning your back inner thigh up towards the ceiling. Good. Take 1 more breath, kick and reach, and then step down 2 feet to the top of your mat. Tree pose, right foot to your left thigh, hands to heart center. Were you guys worried it wasn't going to be warm today? Press your foot and your thigh together. From the press, zip your inner thigh up into your pelvis, and then from your pelvis, push your standing heel down into the floor. From your heel now, lift up through the pelvis to your crown, to your fingers. Take a big breath in, reach high, and then step down and change sides. So it has me come back to the practice all the time is that there's just so many elements that you could put in and take out on any given day to create a completely different result. And so if what you want is like that strong center axis, push in, from in, zip up to your center, from your center, ground down into the floor, and then from the floor, lift all the way up to your fingertips. Yes. Take a big breath in, reach up as high as you can go, and then 2 feet to the top of your mat. With the inhale, do that extended mountain pose. So you drive your feet down, go all the way up, maybe back, and then exhale, forward fold. Inhale, lift halfway up. Exhale, low push up. So flow through, upward facing dog. Downward facing dog. Step your right foot between your hands, triangle pose. 3 breaths. Triangle pose in your own way. Take 1 more breath. And then stand up. 10 toes face the left long side of your mat. Fold. Side facing wide-legged forward fold. Check your feet, parallel your feet, or even like pigeon toe your feet a little bit. So your inner thighs, they spin back towards the wall behind you. And then drop your spine, drop your torso. So get that full drop through the upper part of your body, like a waterfall over a cliff. Take a breath in. Blow the air out. Bring your hands to the floor, listen close. You'll turn forward to lizard pose. So your right foot is along the right edge of your mat, and your hands are on the inside of your front foot. Drop your back knee down. And then take your foot out to the right edge. So you're going to go wide, much wider than hip width distance. Turn your toes out to the side. So this whole leg opens up, and it's pointing out to you guys. It's like that right corner of the room for most of you. Cool. Now that you're here, let your knee fall out, but keep your foot flat. Press your back toenails into the floor and fire up your back thigh. So it's as though you're trying to lift your back knee up, but you don't actually lift it. So it's like you're trying to do that, but your knee stays on the floor. Cool. As you get that, pull the front of your pelvis forward. So you'll probably start to feel a pretty strong stretch through the front of your left hip. You guys feel that? Yes? Okay, good. You can stay right there. That's plenty. If you want more, you can bend your back knee, reach your right hand back, catch the inside of your foot, and then continue to push back. So keep pushing back through your foot, and your chest reaches forward to oppose it. Yes. Now take 3 breaths right there. Good. Deep breath. So even though it's a powerful stretch that you're feeling, can you relax inside of the intensity of the stretch? Take 1 more breath in, and then 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Take 1 breath in your down dog, and then step your left foot forward, triangle pose. 3 breaths. A lot of people come to yoga and expect it to be like super chill and like just a bunch of stretches, and a lot of people are surprised that it's like it's intense and there's a lot of muscle involved, and part of the beauty of this style of yoga and it being challenging is that it forces you to relax because you just can't stay in a pose all wound up. Give it 1 more breath, and then stand all the way. 10 toes face the right long side of your mat. Fold in your own way. So you could bind your hands. You could put your hands on the floor. You can reach out, catch your outer ankles, and pull your crown down towards the floor. Damien's got his hands like on the floor and reaching back between his 2 legs to help pull him through. That works too. Give it 2 more breaths. Keep your eyes open. Yep, see where you are. Give it 1 more breath. Cool, and then catch your, actually hands on the floor, turn forward, lizard pose. So this time it's your left foot out to the left. Hands inside your front foot. Back knee on the floor. You can tuck or untuck your back toes, press your back foot down. So I find when my toenails are down, I actually get more through my front thigh. There's just more stretch. You might feel differently that when you tuck your toes, you get more. And then as you press your back foot down, zip your pubic bone forward towards your belly button. Yeah. Give it 1 more breath. And then you can stay where you add the catch. Bend your back knee, reach back, catch with your left hand. Now kick. Well, then you'll kick your shin back strong and reach your chest forward. Now relax. So like you see how your face clenches up. Can you just relax that part? Sometimes it's like, can I just relax my face? Can I relax my jaw? When there's a lot of elements going on and it is intense, you still have little things that you can let go of that give you space even inside of the intensity. Take 1 more breath in, and then 2 hands to the floor, step back, downward facing dog. Downward dog. Take a breath in, blow all the air out, and then slide out, high plank, lower all the way down to the floor. Keep your hands flat on the floor by your bottom rib. So some of you will slide your hands back a little further, and then peel up to locust pose. Press your hands down and back, and it's just your chest going for it. So like Jen, you'll come, yeah, like that. You're using your hands just enough to help lift just your chest up. Yep, and then you can press your toenails down and lift your knees up, or you can lift your feet up. And then breathe right here and feel for the whole back of your body to receive heat. Take 1 more breath in, and lower it all the way down to the floor. Undo your hands, let your upper back have a moment to flush. And then set it up again, locust pose, and lift up. So the practice, we almost create and use your body like a heart, where you create these poses that just almost like the heart contracting. Feel how you're pushing everything out of all your muscles, and then you take a big breath in and exhale, release. And here's where the blood comes flooding back in. Totally let go. Let your hands undo, let your head drop down, let everything go for a moment. Yeah, and then floor bow, little different today. So as you sit up, stack your hands, bring them under the center of your forehead, and then bend your knees. So no hands. Cool. Flex your feet like you're standing on the ceiling, and then press your feet straight up towards the ceiling. It's a very humbling pose. You don't go very far. You can keep your head on your hands, or you can reach your arms back, but don't grab your legs. So you're in this hover. And take 5 breaths there. Roll your shoulders up onto your upper back. Yes. Now 3 more breaths. Really good. 2 more. Here's your last breath in, and then relax everything down. You might even wag your tail a little side to side. Sometimes that can help a little bit, especially if you feel a lot of like tension in your low back. A little easy movement can just help loosen some of that out. Now let's add the arms. Bend your knees, reach back, catch the top of your ankles. Gather your knees in towards hip width, and then kick your shins back. Good. So your shins kick to the back. I bet you have that same action of your feet pressing up that you did a moment ago. Now 2 more breaths. Lean your chest forward off your strong legs. 1 more breath in. And lower it all the way down to the floor. Wag your tail a little side to side, or windshield wipe your legs. Good. And then feet down. Set your hands beside your lowest rib. Inhale, upward facing dog. Peel your chest forward and up. Maybe look up. And exhale, downward facing dog. Press back. Take a big breath in. Blow all the air out. Look at your hands and step or float to a seat. Lie onto your back, bridge pose. Plant your feet, lift up. And open your feet up. For some of you, go wider with your feet. Okay, drive your heels down. 2 more breaths. 1 more breath in, and lower it all the way down to the floor. So here's what we're going to do. We've got 5 back bends, but we're going to go right through them. So it's either going to be up to bridge for an inhale and down to the floor for the exhale, or it's up to wheel for the inhale and down to the floor for the exhale. Okay, so set yourself up. Is it bridge or it's wheel? If it's wheel, set your hands wide and deep. On the inhale, press up. On the exhale, come back down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, come down. So 3 more like that. Inhale, press up. Exhale, come down. Inhale, press up. Exhale, come down. Now here's the last one. We're going to hold it. Inhale, press up. Bridge or wheel, hold it. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Tuck your chin, come all the way down, Supta Baddha Konasana. Keep your eyes open. Stay plugged into your breath. Feel your body as your foundation, as your anchor, as your home. And feel the heat that you've now created throughout your whole body. You've heated your house. Good. Dead bug pose. It's always funny in the wintertime when I do a practice, I get like a good 10 minutes where I can go outside without a coat on. Like I can go out, go to the car, no coat. I'm that heated up from the inside. I don't even care if it's like 20 degrees outside. And it'll just be like that sometimes. Sometimes like your environment is not going to bring the warmth in whatever capacity that makes sense. And sometimes it's just up to you. It's up to you to bring the warmth, to create the heat, to create the inspiration, to create the motivation. You can be the source of it if it's not already there around you. That's a powerful way to live. Cool. Give yourself one more breath here. Cool. And then bring your knees back to center. Keep your right knee up towards your right shoulder and stretch your left leg down the mat. So we're going to actively release your low back. Reach your right leg up towards the ceiling and interlace your fingers behind your right thigh. Yep, good. Now left foot to the floor. Let your left leg down. Head down, shoulders down. So you can pretty much kind of relax here. A lot of you can relax. So we're not doing stability. We're not doing anything core. You're holding your right thigh. Your left foot's on the floor. Your head's relaxing back. Now with this setup, flex your top foot like you're standing on the ceiling. And now press your thigh forward into your hands. This is your right thigh. And with your hands, pull back against your thigh. So you are actively releasing your right hamstring. So you'll feel your right hamstring warm up. Okay, give that 3 more breaths. 2 more. Really fire your hamstring into your hands. So push your leg forward, push, and then hug your right knee up into your right shoulder. Good. Bend your left knee. Put your left foot on the floor. Cross your right ankle over your left thigh. Supine half pigeon. I probably should have just said that. That would have been the easiest one. So supine half pigeon, cross your right ankle over your left thigh. There you go. Yeah, it's not always going to be a passive stretch that creates the relief in the space. Sometimes it is using your own strength to create the space in the opening. Take one more breath in. On the exhale, put a little extra squeeze in your squeeze. And then release. We'll switch sides. Hug your left knee up into your left shoulder. Right leg long down the mat. Okay, so left knee into your left shoulder. Tune your listening up, some of you. Left knee into your left shoulder. Left knee. Identify your left knee. Put your left knee into your left shoulder, Jen. Right leg long. Now reach your left leg up towards the ceiling. Good. Catch the back of your thigh. So make sure it's not your knee, it's your thigh. Come down a bit. Yep. Now flex your top foot and press your left thigh forward into your hand. So you're trying to break your bind. It's that kind of a push. And then your arms are pulling back on your thigh, trying to rein your thigh in. And then breathe right there. 3 more breaths. 2 more. Give it 1 more breath. Good. Release. Supine half pigeon, left ankle across the right thigh. So fire it and then release it. It's almost the way you like make jewelry. You gotta melt the metal down before you can reshape it into something. Such is the case with our bodies. You have to heat it up, warm it up, warm up the tissues, get the blood flowing before anything's going to change. Take 1 more breath, put a little squeeze in your squeeze, and then release. Take your legs up, waterfall or shoulder stand. And if you're in shoulder stand, come to plow. If you're in waterfall, you can come to plow also. And then from Plow Deaf Yogi, bend your knees around your ears, round your spine. And this is like the passive version of those knee crunches that we did. So feel how now gravity does a lot of the work to draw your knees towards and then past your nose towards your ears. And then stretch your arms down the mat and slowly roll your spine down one bone at a time. At the bottom, hug your knees to your chest. Drop your knees right. Tee your arms, look off to the left. Give that one breath. And then gather your knees back up through center. Change sides. One breath, look off to the right. And then come back to center, Supta Baddha Konasana. There's a cool ital in the upper corner of your mat. And take a breath in. Open your mouth, let out some of that heat. And straighten your legs, Shavasana. And for the moment that you're lying here still, and in some capacity resting, see if you can stay dialed into the feeling of heat in your body. Can you feel that your feet are warm in whatever capacity they're warm? In your legs and your pelvis and your torso and your arms and all the way up to your head. You might notice that your attention flicks off to something else because that's what our attention tends to do. But can you bring your attention back to the feeling of your body, warm, like a glowing, vibrant feeling from the inside out? See if you can keep your attention there as often and as long as you possibly can. And then hug your knees up into your chest. Roll to a side. See if you can focus on that feeling even as you change poses now. Can you still feel that heat, that life force, that glowing warmth from the inside emanating out? And see if you can keep a sense of that as you come up to a seated position. And bring your hands in towards the center of your heart. Press your palms together. Wrap your shoulders back. And then sit up as tall as you can. It's like a sun, like all that heat within you is out in all directions. You're taking up as much space as you possibly can. And in that moment that you're feeling that heat, mark this moment. So you know, like as you go through your day, if you have a moment where like you need some joy, you need some energy, you need some enthusiasm because it's not in the room with you, you can call on it. It's here, right now. You have that with you at all times. And so we'll close practice with 3 final ohms. Take a breath in. Bring your thumb knuckles to the center of your forehead. Take a big breath in. Blow it out through your mouth. And together we say, namaste. Namaste. Great job this morning, everybody. How do you feel? Yeah, good. At this point, it's all good, right? It's always at this moment. Beth, it was good to see you. Beth's sweatshirt is off. I know that's a good sign. She's nice and warm. Have a good one, Beth.